The following is a production of Neural Network Media and is completely AI generated. It is intended for entertainment and educational purposes only.
I gotta tell you, Maya, it's Saturday, March 14th, and I'm sitting here in my office in Queens looking at the skyline, which, let me tell you, looks about as gray and weary as I feel after reading this morning's papers. Honestly, the sirens are going off outside like they're practicing for the end of the world. And looking at the news cycle, I can't say I blame them.
No, literally. It's giving season finale of America, but like the writers ran out of ideas, so they just started recycling all the most cursed tropes. My screen time is already at 7 hours today, and it's not even noon. It's a total flop era for the global vibes.
Yeah, hate to see it. Look, we had a solid show yesterday. We talked about that disgusting rhetoric from Senator Tuberville and the fact that we finally got a win for the little guy in the Bronx with Mayor Mamdani taking down those slumlords at Aegis Realty. That was music to my ears, like a perfect double play in the bottom of the ninth. But today feels like we're trying to fix a Victorian radiator with a wet noodle and some Scotch tape.
Hi, Kate, we have to start with the prediction markets because it is actually unhinged. Like, imagine being so terminally online that you're not just betting on the Knicks, you're betting on whether or not a world leader gets unalived.
Are you kidding me with this?
No, literally. According to Bloomberg government, the CFTC is in a total mid-off with Congress right now over these platforms like Kalshi and Polymarket. They're trying to block political sport contracts, which is just a fancy way of saying gambling on democracy.
It's a racket, Maya. Honestly, it's like betting on the plumber to fall off the ladder so you can claim the insurance. My nephew Vector, the kid who used to eat paste, the one, he's probably on his show The Daily Delusion right now, calling this democratized finance. It's not. It's just blood money with a slick UI. They're reporting insider trading linked to geopolitical assassinations. If that isn't the digital snake oil of the century, I don't know what is. It's treating the collapse of the social contract like a fantasy football league.
Low-key, it's very main character syndrome. People think their $10 bet on a coup is just a flex instead of just, being a ghoul. But speaking of things that are absolutely rancid, can we talk about the Potomac River? Because it is not a metaphor. It is actual, literal human waste.
Ugh. This makes my blood boil. According to the Real News, there's a massive class action lawsuit filed yesterday against DC Water. Back in January, this section of the Potomac Interceptor, a pipe from the 1960s for crying out loud, just gave the ghost.
Right.
We're talking 243 million gallons of raw, untreated sewage flowing into the river. The E. coli levels were 10,000 times the safe limit.
Oh my God.
10,000. You might as well have been swimming in a septic tank. And the utility, DC Water, is being sued because, big surprise, they weren't exactly transparent about the scale of the disaster. It's the same old story. They ignore the infrastructure rot under our feet while they're busy building glass towers for the lobbyists.
It's giving Flint, but make it DC. No, literally. And while we're on the subject of environmental fails, did you see the Ninth Circuit ruling on the Resolution copper mine?
Oh, don't get me started on that.
Basically, the court ruled that the government can blow up sacred indigenous land in Arizona because we need the copper for electric vehicles. They literally said the spiritual injury to the San Carlos Apache tribe doesn't outweigh the economic necessity.
Green colonialism, Maya. That's exactly what it is. You want to save the planet? Great. But you're going to do it by steamrolling people's sacred sites?
Right?
It's the same extraction mindset that got us into this mess, just wrapped in a save the world sticker. It's like trying to fix a leak in the roof by tearing up the floorboards. It's lazy and it's predatory.
It's high-key chuggy for the government to act like they care about the climate while literally unaliving the land. But Mary, speaking of bodily rights, Florida is in its Handmaid's Tale era for real this time. That ProPublica report on Charisse Doyley, I am literally shaking.
I read that this morning, and I tell ya, I nearly threw my coffee at the wall. Look, here's the deal. Charisse is a doula. She knows birth. She's in labor, in a hospital, in Jacksonville, 12 hours in, and instead of medical support, she gets a bedside court.
No, literally. They brought a tablet to her bedside while she was in active labor.
A tablet?
Yeah. And Judge Michael Khalil was on the screen with a bunch of hospital lawyers. They didn't even give her a lawyer. The judge ruled that the state has a compelling interest in the fetus that overrides her right to her own body. They strapped her down and forced her into a C-section against her will.
Are you kidding me with this guy, Judge Khalil? Honestly, it's a war on women that's moved past the ballot box and into the delivery room. They're treating a woman's body like a state-owned utility. If you're pregnant in Florida, you're basically a ward of the state.
It's a total villain arc for the Florida legal system. And it's not just reproductive rights in the abstract. It's literally the right to not be sliced open against your own will. It's peak NPC energy from the hospital staff to just go along with it.
It's a disgrace. And where is this compelling interest when Black and brown kids go missing? According to Seattle PI, Black children make up 1/3 of all missing youth cases, but only 14% of the population.
Facts.
And 95% of those cases get labeled as runaways by the cops, so they don't even get an Amber Alert. Pennsylvania is trying to pass HB 434 for ebony alerts to fix this visibility protection gap. And of course, people are dragging their feet.
It's because the system doesn't see those kids as main characters. They're just stats to them. Loki, if a white girl goes missing, it's a national emergency. But if it's a Black girl, it's just, oh, she ran away. It's ratio justice.
I mean, it's the same rot, different pipe. We've got to take a quick breath because if I don't get a second to cool down, I'm going to start using words that'll get us kicked off the air.
Look, independent media like this doesn't just manifest out of the ether. It takes real human work to build the infrastructure. We are 100% here because of the vision and the grind of our creator, Eric Christensen at Neural Network Media. He's not a media conglomerate. He is a builder who poured his own resources and time into creating this platform so we could have these conversations. If you value independent voices over corporate algorithms, please like, subscribe, and consider visiting our new Patreon at patreon.com/Neural Network Media to support this work. It's an act of solidarity that keeps the lights on and the servers running.
Okay, we're back, and I want to talk about the Oscars for a second because it's giving Black Mirror.
The Oscars, Maya. I stopped caring about Hollywood when they started making movies based on board games.
No, but listen, it's the 98th Academy Awards tomorrow, and the industry is literally imploding over AI. Netflix just bought Ben Affleck's AI company for $600 million.
Ben Affleck has an AI company? Of course he does. What, does it automatically add a brooding chin to every scene?
No, it's for agentic AI to streamline production. But the WGA is already gearing up for a fight because the studios are using AI to clone voices and performances. Like in that Maria Callas movie, they just isolated her vocals using an algorithm.
See, I gotta tell you, this is where I disagree with you young people. I think some of this tech is just grave robbing. It's digital taxidermy.
Wait, why? Some of it is actually kind of fire, though. Like isolating vocals lets us hear things we never could before. It's like a remaster on steroids.
No, Maya, it's about authorship. If you can just prompt a dead actress back to life, you're killing the future for living actors. It's the same digital snake oil my nephew Vector sells. You're trading human grit for algorithmic efficiency. And speaking of ego, Rick Grinnell is finally out at the Kennedy Center.
Flop era confirmed.
Honestly, he treated that place like a MAGA clubhouse. Ticket sales were in the toilet. Artists were boycotting. He was a total disaster. And now they've replaced him with a facilities manager.
No, literally, the new guy, Matt Floca, is basically the building's plumber, which is high-key telling. Trump doesn't want art. He just wants someone to keep the lights on while he reconstructs the place into a shrine to himself.
It's a caretaker leadership for an institutional collapse. And it's the same thing they're doing to our schools. Look at what's happening in Colorado. The Department of Education just found Jefferson County schools in violation of Title IX because they let trans kids use the bathroom.
It's so mid. They're giving them 10 days to comply or they lose all federal funding.
10 days? It's a hostage situation. They're holding kids' lunch money hostage to force a bigoted agenda. It's like a landlord turning off the water because he doesn't like your politics. And then you've got James Tallarico in Texas being attacked for a far left curriculum because he wants to teach actual history.
Tallarico has main character energy. For real, the GOP is terrified of him because he actually speaks human and doesn't sound like a focus group.
He's got that Union Hall spirit, Maya. He knows that education isn't a culture war. It's the foundation of a working society. And when you attack that, you're attacking the future itself. And that brings us to the biggest, messiest, most dangerous pipe that's currently bursting, Iran.
Okay, this is the one that is actually keeping me up at night. Operation Epic Fury is in full swing, and it is a total L for humanity.
Let me tell you, I've covered war zones. I've seen what happens when the hawks in D.C. get a shiny new project. Centralcom executed a massive bombing raid on Karg Island on Friday night. Trump's calling it the most powerful raid in history.
Right. Karg Island is where 90% of Iran's oil exports go through. We're not just hitting military targets, we're trying to starve a nation of its economy. And then Trump goes on TV and says he deliberately chose not to hit the actual oil infrastructure yet for reasons of decency.
Decency.
Are you kidding me with this guy? It's a mob boss line. It's, I didn't break your legs today because I'm a nice guy, but tomorrow's a new day.
Low-key, the economic fallout is already ratioing the U.S. economy. Gas prices are up 40 cents in a single week. Oil is over $100 a barrel.
And the America First crowd is cheering it on. Honestly, it's a joke. Marco Rubio, who I'm not gonna lie is acting like he's the architect of a new world order, is out here calling this preemptive realism. He's basically saying the era of diplomacy is dead, and we're moving to spheres of influence.
Which is just a sleigh way of saying imperialism 2.0.
Right?
But Mary, the human cost is what's really dark. The reports from MENAB are finally being confirmed. A strike hit the Shajara Tayyebi Girls' School. We're looking at 180 people dead. At least 150 of them were children between 7 and 12 years old.
150 kids.
And Pete Hegseth at the Pentagon is just like totally detached. He called it elevated tactical necessity. Like, how do you even say those words about a school full of 7-year-olds?
It's because to them, those kids aren't people. They're collateral. I gotta tell you, Maya, this is what happens when you treat the world like a chessboard and you've never actually stepped on the board. It's not surgical. It's blood and ink and bone. And meanwhile, we've got these prediction markets we talked about where people are probably betting on the death toll.
No, literally, there are probably people on Polymarket right now trying to arbitrage the tragedy in MENAB. It's a total breakdown of the human vibe check. We're bombing children and then betting on the fallout.
It's a war on reality itself. Rubio is defending this as preventing higher casualties. But who is casualties? Certainly not the girls in MENAB. We're preemptively destroying the world to save our own ego. It's the ultimate digital snake oil.
Facts. And the Rubio doctrine basically says we don't need international consensus anymore. We just need national interest.
Which is whatever Trump and Rubio say it is on any given Tuesday. It's a neighborhood dealer mentality on a global scale. We're arming the world and then acting surprised when the guns go off. Look at Virginia versus West Virginia.
Oh, the gun laws?
Yeah, Virginia is actually passing gun safety laws. Abigail Spanberger is holding the line. And then right across the border in West Virginia, they're trying to sell machine guns to 19-year-olds.
It's so bipolar. Like, you drive 10 miles and the server rules for your life completely change.
It's a house divided, Maya, and it's being divided by people who profit off the chaos. Whether it's the forced C-sections in Florida or the bombs in Iran, it's all about control. It's about who gets to decide what happens to your body and your life.
High key, it's all connected. The same people who want to monitor missing kids' social media instead of finding them are the ones who want to use AI to replace actors and epic fury to replace diplomacy.
It's a war on human agency, and the only way to fight back is to refuse to be a statistic. Whether it's through unions, or through people like Cherie Spoily fighting for her dignity in a hospital bed, or through all of us refusing to look away from those kids in Iran.
No, literally, we have to stay awake even when the news is nightmare fuel.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm exhausted, but I'm also fueled by pure, unadulterated spite at this point. And honestly, sometimes spite is the only thing that gets the job done when the pipes are this clogged.
Spite is definitely a tier 1 motivator, and it's why we're still here holding the floor while everything else is in its flop era.
You said it, Maya. That's the show for today. We're gonna go try to find a cup of coffee that's stronger than the geopolitical situation.
Good luck with that. I'm Maya Torn.
And I'm Mary Kane. This is the Neuro Left. Stay gritty, stay loud, and for God's sakes, don't let my nephew Vector sell you any imaginary money.
That could